They set the weights out there for too long, but, it's kind of done with that. And they move forward.
And other things like this, now you realize it's,
Too many injuries.
yeah.
My life.
Yeah, my husband started doing Pilates about a month and a half ago. Oh, he did? Working on the corner, because that stretching for him is everything. Yeah, I mean, abs, he didn't have any abs. There's kind of need for that. Yeah.
Okay, everybody. So, foam roller. Foam roller. Start. And specifically, there's all sorts of body parts to target in on, but I really want you to pay attention to what works for you. So that's why I go in cycles of like showing you guys one versus the other, so that you can learn which ones are best for you. So today I do want to start with hip flexor, TFL, which is just above, below your hip bone, upper outer thigh. Okay. You don't want to be on your side, so that's not what we're doing. We're more in a plank and just upper outer thigh, literally right here. Okay. It might seem like it's your quad, but it's not your quad. Okay. So Dale, if you're doing that, make sure you're more of a plank, not on the side here. You don't want to be on the side with the actual TFL. So. Are y'all able to find what I'm talking about?
It's the top of the saddle bag.
Front of it though.
Saddle front though.
Yes, you could think of it that way. I kind of think of it as it's almost, it ties into your quads. But this is actually the muscle that is attaches to your TFL, which is the muscle that comes down your knee. So if we feel tight in our knees or in our low backs, this is the muscle that can play roles in this. Right? New feedback, everybody. How do we feel when we roll this area out? Feel it?
Yeah.
So if this is tight, you're not going to be working your glutes as well. If this is tight, you can feel tightness in your back. If you sit for periods of time, this might get tight. Or if you get fatigued and the glutes aren't working right, this is what's working, so it's going to get tight. I also want you to do inner thigh after that, which is very commonly forgotten, but you can probably work your legs if your inner thighs are bothering you. So you're going to be lying plank, like face down, prone, just face down. Pull one knee outside, and you're going to do the inside of your thigh. Okay. Also focus on closer to your groin and then closer to your knee. So that whole area, whole inner thigh, before you actually focus on the knees. So when we're squatting, when we're deadlifting, when we're doing glutes, our inner thighs can get tight too. That's all right. Kind of drape that foot, relax your ankle on your foot. Remember, the whole goal of this is to create, let those muscles relax instead of stay tight. So if we're constantly tense and we're tensing up the whole time, we don't really relax, then we're not really going to get as much out of this. Take your deep breath too. That really helps. What I want you to do next is turn onto your back, foam roller on your back or behind you. You're gonna do your lats, that wing area. So you're gonna come to think behind and back of your armpit or under your armpit. You're gonna turn it almost 90 degrees, right underneath and behind of that armpit area. And you don't want that bottom elbow to really be touching, of course, because then you can't put your weight on it, but you can support your head. You might actually get more if you find that muscle and then rock forward and back versus just up and down. It kind of comes all the way around, almost like, think of like the upper back of your rib cage. This is that pulling muscle from rowing and pull-ups and pullovers, all those. Yeah, good. I'm gonna be almost up to 90 degrees on the one side. So keep in mind, if you're too much on your back, you're just gonna be in that bone or that shoulder blade area. If you're on your side more, you'll probably get a little more into that muscle. I think it worked. How does this feel, everybody? Feel this? It's also the muscle that helps support us in our planks. We're on our hands or our feet, or our hands or our forearms. Once you do this on both sides, I want you to grab a tennis ball, like a small ball. Tennis balls are going to roll fast. They're a little bit bucket. Sarah, do you have any kind of small ball when you're done? Or any kind of small item? Ball, tennis ball, cross ball, anything?
I have
You use this for back.
like a weight.
I just couldn't see. Can you lower that down? Okay.
Squish.
You can try that. You can try that.
There's one right.
Oh, thank you. So this is for low back. What you're gonna do, your QL, it's like a little, almost like square rectangular shape, shape muscle. Think of above your hips and off to the left or right of your spine. What you're gonna do is you're gonna lie down right there on the ball, the tennis ball, and you'll have to kind of play around. You don't want it to be directly on your spine. You don't want it to be directly on your hip bone. But once you're there, you're gonna actually have to tilt into it. So you don't want to be away, but you want to kind of tilt into and onto that ball a little bit to get in there. It's like almost like on an angle to your spine. So you kind of go in and up or in and on an angle.
So that biting discomfort is fascia?
What's that?
That biting discomfort is fascia?
So you have a muscle there. There is actually a muscle called the quadratus lumborum muscle, and this, when our glutes aren't working and our abs aren't working, so when the deep abdominals don't work, we end up, or when we even pull our back, a lot of times it's this muscle. It's not your actual like spine, but if you don't strengthen that core, it can become a spinal issue. So a lot of times it's these. You also have a lot of like up and down muscles right offset of the spine. So you might feel it depending on how much how close you are to the spine. You might feel some of those extensor muscles, because that's what they do. They extend the spine, and they might be very tight too. So if any of these are too tight, then we can't really work our core so well. So I want you to kind of play around on both sides of that. Kind of wiggle around, up and down, in and out type thing. Or if you find a spot, you can just hold it after a couple deep breaths. Same idea as stretching. Those muscles eventually will start to relax once you get in there, and the body can essentially breathe out and relax through it. So we feel this too. Take another 30 seconds or so. And we're going to scoot that ball off to the side. What I want you to do once you are done, scoot that ball up to the side. You're not going to use it. Cross one leg over. I want you to go back and forth. So twist side to side, 10 times, and then you'll switch legs. You might feel that back crack a little bit, depending on if you release any of that tension. If you haven't already, you should switch to the other side, please. And then when we're done with that, you are going to need a stability ball. If you're shorter, you're going to grab one of the smaller gray ones, as long as it's inflated. I think one of them has a puncture in it. But the shorter you are, the smaller one you want. And the taller, you need a larger one in the end, because ultimately one of the exercises is going to be easier with the smaller one. But once you have your stability ball, we're going to do a little series. So what you're doing first is going to be on your stomach. You can drape yourself over. You're going to walk yourself out. You're going to walk yourself out. Remember, the farther you get out, the harder it's going to be. Okay? I don't really want you too much above your knees, but the farther you go down on your shins, the harder it's going to be. So when I say like set yourself up, I mean you should be in a plank position at around just above or just below the knees. Okay? We don't want to be too far here, because what happens, we're not actually using where our hips are on here. This is a little too easy. Okay? So far enough out that you have to keep those abs in and glutes squeeze. Okay? So I'm going to do this in an easy variation. This is easy versus walking out harder. I'm going to push back. As I push back, I don't let my legs drop. I'm still squeezing my abs and my legs. And then I pull forward. Then I push back. And then I pull forward. We're going to do 10 times. Go ahead. Okay, I don't want to drop my legs because I'm not squeezing my butt. But abs are in. Start in the plank, and then you can push back and forward from there. Good. And as you push back, I want you to think of keeping your abs in and keeping engagement in that center. So your center is your abs, your glutes, your thighs. Good. We don't want to lose that engagement. So there shouldn't be any movement at your hips. Dale, I want you to pay attention, because I'm seeing a lot of movement at your spine and your hips. Hold your plank right there. So pull up, lift up. Yes, right there. Now keep that position as you pull back. You are only moving really at the shoulder blades and your shoulders. So think of that when we do this. Okay? If you're moving at your spine, then you're really you're using all those muscles, and that is why when we did that tennis ball, that's so tight. We don't want to use those muscles like that. 10 times, and then come on off to your back. Good job. And then to your back. This is where smaller ball, if you're shorter, is going to be helpful, but you don't want to be squeezing your thighs. Okay, you're not squeezing together, working the inner thighs. You are doing almost like a hamstring curl. Okay, like think of curling. If the ball was not here, I'd kick my butt. Okay, so in that position, this is my start. Okay, I don't want to touch the ground each time. That is why you're going to lose grip with that ball. So squeeze it, start up a tiny bit, almost like a 90-90, and you're going to do reverse crunches. 15. Upper body is relaxed. I don't mind where your hands are, as long as the upper body is not really doing much work, and you're just, reverse crunching. Keep it in a small range of motion, pulling those abs in to pull that ball forward. Good. Good. When you come back to your start, you want your back still on the floor, so you don't want your spine coming off the ground for any of these reps. Good. And then you're gonna stay there on your back. You're gonna put your heels on the ball. Knees bent. I want you to put those elbows on the ground, arms bent. Okay, so this is your start position. What you're gonna do is you're gonna bridge up. I want you to drive your elbows into the ground to get yourself in your bridge. So we're gonna come up as high as you can, okay? And that should look like a straight line at your hips. Then you're gonna extend it out, and you're gonna curl in. And I'm still driving my elbows into the ground. Out, and then I curl in, squeezing my butt and pushing through my elbows. 10 times. You're working your hamstrings. Hamstrings are what's moving you, but your back. Good. Keep driving those elbows in because that's going to help stabilize yourself. Like when you drive them into the ground to use your back, upper back. Good. Nice job. Then we're going to flip over to our plank. We're going to repeat. Back to that plank position. That's it. Plank position, walk yourself out. So I'm going to make one comment. So however far you do go out, we don't want our back to be sagging. See how I'm not really pushing through those lat muscles. Okay, those wings. I want to push. This is what we want to do. We want to keep that position. So as I push back, I don't just sag. Okay, I want to try to actively engage everything. 10 more. Go ahead. Go for it, everybody. And keep the movement. I'd rather you keep the movement small. So if you're not ready to, if your spine isn't not able to stay in that straight body, just keep it small. Don't push back so far. Good. Think of lifting up. Think of a corset around your upper ribs and pulling you up and supporting you. Yes, the upper ribs are supporting you. Nice work. Good job. Good. Then you're going to flip to your back when you're done. You have 15 of the reverse crunches. Okay? Reverse crunches are really good for targeting those deep abdominal muscles because you have to just to keep yourself in place. You have to zip everything in, and then we're moving. 15. And if you're losing grip with that ball, that might mean that you're using your hip flexors instead of squeezing through your glutes. Okay, remember how we talked about keeping your glutes a little bit engaged? You want to keep doing that here. Pull those abs in. Good work. And then the last one, elbows in the ground. Press through your elbows and squeeze your butt to lift your hips up. And we want to hold that position, come out, and then extend back, or extend out, and then curl back in, okay? If you have trouble and your hips drop, don't go out so far. Okay, you want to keep your hips up. Just keep it small and open at your hips. Good. I see a lot of people moving at their hips, and I know for a fact that if we're doing this, so see how my hips are closed? If I'm just doing this, this is not working my hamstrings. Okay? I have to keep my hips nice and stable. I shouldn't see any movement or change in my hip. Good. Yeah. Good. That's because you're squeezing your butt to keep it in place there. Good. The deal is you curl in, your hips should be going up higher. Does that make sense? Show me your bridge from there. That's right. All right, so that's good. Okay. Stand up. Okay. Okay. 10 of these. And then back to the plank lat rocks. The exercise one. Plank position, lat rockers. I say lat rockers because we're working that lat muscle, that lateral latissimus dorsi. So back to your plank. We're going to do one more time. I'm going to watch everybody. Good. Make sure when we get in that plank, we zip everything into, you push up with that push-up plus. And then we can start moving in small range of motion. Good. Good. Down, walk out a little bit farther. That's good. 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 You're lifting up through that rib cage, upper and lower rib cage and spine. Good. Yes, good. Nice job. Good. Lifting through here. Yep, now try to keep that engagement as you push back. It's looking good, everybody. Now we talk about using the muscle on the way back too, not just as you pull, but as you come back to your start. Okay, same thing here. We don't want to just relax that muscle completely on the way back. We want to keep it working so that it can control us. And then back to your back, reverse crunches, 15. We'll do a leg curl again. Good. Nice job. Good. Try to control, so as you come back to the start of the reverse crunches, control and steady. Nice work. And then to your back, heels on the ball, elbows in the ground. You can do your bridge up. So how hard, before you even think about moving your legs, bridge up in that bridge. Think of engaging that back. Make sure that you're engaging your back and squeezing your glutes. Then I want you to pause there. And then you're gonna go out and in with your legs, okay? Really activate those muscles to get yourself up and hold that bridge first. Good, good. There you go, keep squeezing those glutes at the end. So right there, it's gonna be squeeze. Yeah. That's it. Good. Excellent. You can move, get rid of your ball when we're done. And if you want, you can get rid of the tennis ball too. Just so it's not in your way. I don't want anybody stepping or tripping on it. Do that, and then we'll get going with the last circuit of the day. Woo, Friday. Great job, everybody. Or, so, I'm not going to have you grab any weight. All you need is yourself and your mat for this last bit. Okay.
Thanks.
So you are going to be timed. I just realized I don't have any music on. I just have the outside music, and you guys need to say music.
Thank you.
You guys want some tunes? I'll put that on in a moment. Perfect. All right, so here's what we got. We got 3 things, okay? You are going to do squats. Okay, body weight squats is 1. Push-ups with either elbows in or diamond in regular or pull, okay? The whole purpose of this is because when I tell you just to do regular push-ups, we tend to do them the wrong way and end up using our shoulders and our necks. This forces us to work your triceps and the right muscles in your chest a little bit better. So either diamond or elbows in. And yes, you will have a little bit different angle depending on which one you do. Okay, that's 2. Exercise 3, plank position, lateral mountain climbers. Okay, I don't want to have a movement in my upper body. That muscle that we use to hold ourselves in that plank on the stability ball, that muscle is locked. So I'm just moving at my hips and knees. So I'm literally just doing that with my hips and knees. Okay, I don't want to move with my upper body. We're gonna do 15 of your squats, 10 of your push-ups, 30 mountain climbers. Okay, okay? It's gonna be 8 minutes long. You do as many rounds as you can, okay? Any questions before I set your timer? Just
How many push-ups?
10 push-ups.
50.
15 squats, 10 push-ups, and 30 of your climbers. The timer's gonna start, then I'll turn on some music, so get ready. 4, 3, no, 5 weight squats. Go ahead and begin. Just realized we're all color coordinated today too. What grade is- 15 squats, 10 of your push-ups, 30. 15, 10, 30. What? Nice work. Great job. Work, everybody. Good. Once you get comfortable with your exercises, you can pick up the pace. I don't mind as long as form is good. Okay. How does this feel? Okay.
Right.
Sure. If you are favoring it, I'd rather you do like bridges, so like, or something else. You can even do bridges here. Just do bodyweight bridges, but at least you won't dare take that in. So I'd actually probably recommend you come do those instead of the squats right now, until that really calms down. We don't want to see you come anything. Good job. Those arms. Great job. Looking good, Sarah. If you get yourself stuck at the bottom of those push-ups, it's okay. How you get yourself to increase your range of motion is challenge yourself. So allow yourself to fail a little bit. That's how you learn to. Unless you have questions. Good job. Great job. Keep those hands underneath you for those plank up. Come on, climbers. Nice work. Excellent job. We're there, everybody. Good work, Sarah.
What's the reason why
Getting good, everybody. Keep it up. Good. Good work. Good. Smart. Keep it going, everybody. Got four. Focus. We got 1 minute left. Good job. Good job up there, Dale. Nice work. 30 seconds. Go. Got it.
Three, two, one, done.
Great work, everybody. Happy Friday. You are done. Excellent job today. Shirt orders are due today. Make sure you get those to me. You can find on me too. And it's just fine. Do you want a shirt? long sheets, short sleeve, long sleeve. Those are the options for the guys. The towels. Okay. Well, we're gonna do red. It's either red or indigo. And indigo is dark, almost like dark, a little darker blue than you have, like a deep
Let's go with that.
long sleeve. How's Sharon?
Red shorts.
For her? Or for you? What size?
Large.
Okay. Okay, awesome. So it'll be 35 total for those two.
Okay.
And then Sandy, you asked, so I know you got one hoodie. What color did you say again?
That one you put on the almost black looking one,
Okay.
dark one.
Because I think you said tahiti, but I know we talked different, so that's why I wanted to confirm.
Yeah, the black
Say,
looking
put it in
one.
black.
Yeah, the black looking one in an extra large because I want to wear it over my clothes.
Okay.
And then 2 towels. That's what I got.
Anybody else?
You got an extra large, indigo, blue, right? One of that. Long sleeve. Yep.
Long sleeve. Yep. I love that indigo color.
You guys, do you have your envelopes downstairs? I have to bring that up. Yeah, I got somebody downstairs. How much is that for Rachel?
So that one's gonna be 20, and then yours is 25.
Yeah, I gave you 45.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I gave you
yes,
45. Yeah, so I'll go down. I got a 20. I'll make Mark bring it back up. Because I brought it along. This time I have some cash. Because somebody gave me money, they owed me.
Yeah, otherwise I usually don't get cash. I don't have cash. I carry cash.
Say, I'll bring you cash. What do you need?
For yours, you got one hoodie, so 45.
I wonder if I should do a long sleeve. I mean, I'm doing it with it.
Well, for women, it's either t-shirt,
Yes.
tank, or long sleeve hoodie.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stay with what I have. Because I've got the shirts and I've got a tank that I'll wear at home. I'm not ready to wear it here yet. So I can just lose a little bit more weight. when I wear it.
Gotcha. Is it like,
Got two of
did you get
those.
one that was like
Yeah,
teal?
she's got.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got. I got the blue one.
Indigo, that's the
Yeah.
color that for the
I
guys.
have that one. But I mean, I'll wear it at home, but it's tight. It's still too tight.
You don't wear a problem.
Yeah, exactly. Martin likes that.
Can I talk to Sandy real quick?
Workout there. That's
I've seen so many things, and then it started really broad, and there's a real broad.
Christy,
Oh, Sarah, I'm sorry.
is Sandy still there?
Sandy is still here.
Can I ask her?
Sandy, Sarah wants to say something to you.